Hello, my name's Terence Baker, Senior Reporter at Hotel News Now. I'm very honoured to be here with Torgeir Silseth, CEO of Nordic Choice Hotels. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
We're here at the Nordic Hotel Consulting Conference in Copenhagen. Nordic Choice, obviously you have about 190 properties in the region, mostly in the region, if not all in the region. And we know that it's a very domestic market. But are we naive to suggest that there aren't challenges, that you have to tweak your business model a little bit? Are you looking to tweak it or to move elsewhere or change your business model depending on location?
We are, as you said, 190 hotels exactly as of today. We are well covered in Norway and Sweden, but we have potential in Finland, Denmark and in the Baltic countries as well. And we have decided to stay in the Nordics and the Baltics, so we have no ambitions outside that region, and our growth will come from here, and we see potentially growth both in Denmark and in Finland going forward.
You did retreat a little bit from Denmark, was that not right?
That's right. We had
what changed? What fundamentally changed? Business dynamics?
We did some bad judgment and had problems in the marketplace. We had problems with some lease contracts. We sold off the enterprise and re-entered the market when it was more sound than by buying real estate. So now we're also with owning real estate and operating as well.
So you have a two, PropCo and YachtCo, that you're concentrating on.
That's correct.
What is the relationship with Choice Hotels International? Has that changed? Where is it now? Will that change?
We have a master franchise with Choice Hotels International. It runs until the beginning of the 2020s. We are in discussions with them how to take this on. Some kind of relationships there will be, but there is no secret that we feel that Choice's development in the rest of Europe is not proportional with our development in the Nordics. So we have some discussions. We will represent their brands also in the future, but on which level, in what size and form, we haven't totally agreed on yet.
And they have a relatively new office in Amsterdam, don't they, or Brussels, or one or two, I
yes.
forget where it is. So, I mean, they're trying.
They're working hard to grow in their continental Europe, and we want them to grow in continental Europe, but we're impatient on the growth now.
Impatient? So how do you see the whole Nordic market operating now? We've heard earlier in the panel discussions at the conference, you're optimistic about the development and opportunities and also the market in general in the Nordics?
The fundamentals are right. It's a safe and sound economy in the Nordic countries. It's regaining, the last one of them, the Finnish economy is also growing. Iceland is doing fantastic. Stockholm is an engine in all of Scandinavia. The travel to Scandinavia from abroad is increasing. Asian traffic. So the outlooks are good for the travel industry in the Nordics the next couple of years, or as long as we can see now.
I was in Iceland last month for a vacation, and I saw Indians, Thai, Chinese travelling. They see the Nordic region as quite trendy now, don't they?
Yes, and we don't see that the same way, but looking from the outside, we have clean nature, we have spectacular nature. Iceland is a fantastic island with a lot of exotic destinations to offer it. I think it's as you say, it's a trend. It's edgy. It's different. It's not sand and beaches, but it's something totally different, and it looks like that resonate with the new markets in Asia at a very well way.
I mean, obviously, Nordic Choice benefits from the Choice International distribution platforms. The big buzz at the moment is about value creation for a guest, having them come direct. What are you doing to make sure that coming direct is more attractive to your customers?
You know, in Scandinavia, roughly you can say that 70–80%, still with the increasing leisure travel from abroad, 70–80% of our market through the year are into Scandinavia. We have to sort of take care of those customers through loyalty programs and through brand recognition, etc., so that we can earn their loyalty. when it comes to the offshore travelers and the Asian travels, etc., I think we have to rely on partnerships with airlines, with the OTAs, etc., to get hold of those. I think we are too small in this big distribution play to go out there on our own. In Scandinavia, on our own, loyalty programs, recognizing the guests, etc. Outside of Scandinavia, I think we have to use the OTAs, use the partnerships to get the customers to us.
Yeah, they're not always the enemy, are they? Absolutely. You started off as a general manager in Lillehammer in Norway. 20 years ago-ish?
More than 20 years.
Okay, more than 20. I mean, what have you seen, what's a life lesson you've learnt? And what have you seen change most fundamentally in the market?
Well, what hasn't changed is the basic. It's the power of the personal meeting between the hotel staff, yourself as a general manager, and the customer. Delivering on your promise, being there, solve the problems for the guests, get there happy so they will return to you. Those basics has not changed and will not change for the future. What has changed a lot is the system side of it, the distribution side, the revenue, tuning and tweaking on the revenue side, relationships with the OTA, your own website, your own app, the whole digital transformation. It's a totally different ball game.
There's a lot more to keep your eye on.
It's a lot more to keep your eye on, but I think those who just keep the eye on the sort of modern, trendy, IT, digital experience and forget the basics that I mentioned, they will fail. You have to keep those two sort of in a balance. The good old hotelier stuff, keeping the guests satisfied, have the good employees that take care of the guests, the personal meeting with the guests and the employees, super important also going forward, and an eye on your digital platform and your digital work to the distribution and interacting digital to the guests. But don't let the one win. Let them have dual attention. Let them both have the attention they deserve going forward.
Have you had a long business relationship with Petter Stordalen? We just saw that he won the 2017 award from this show for contribution to the industry. I mean, what's he brought to a table other than a very vibrant personality and some cash?
I think that's basically it. I think working with Petter has been a privilege for me. We are totally different in style and in many walks of life, but professionally we are sort of focusing on different things, playing different role, and of course he's the owner of the company. But I think the culture, one single owner that is inspired, that can inspire others, that's a good communicator, is a very strong asset for a company, and especially a company that had this growth rate through the years. So he's sort of the flag bearer of the company, and then I try to solve the rest behind the...
And lastly, slightly off topic, as a businessman in Britain, my country, we're going through this Brexit move out of the European Union. As a businessman, what would you advise the politicians to do in terms of keeping their core business fundamentals in place? Is there any advice for us? Because I don't think we know.
No, and this is a difficult and a hot topic, but I would say that in business, in solving security problems, in solving environmental problems, working together, having a level above the national level to work together and solve problems together. I think you need it, whether you like it or not. You want to be free, but you can't provide the basics. You can't provide your people with security, with good trade deals, with an environmental solution to the problems there, without working together. And you can't work together without having a forum to work together on. So I think my guess is that in 5 or 10 years, maybe you leave or you will leave, but you will end up in another partnership, and you will have to work together in other forums. So maybe this is much for nothing.
Well, let's hope one of the politicians, whoever wins next week in our general election, actually listens to you. So, how many hotels by 2020?
I think we also know leaving some lease contracts and focusing more on a bit larger properties and larger development. So, but we are 220 is a good suggestion, I think.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time.
My pleasure.
Thank you.